Now, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you 6 cold truths, okay, that men learn far too late about women. And rest assured, if you actually spot all of these cold truths and you actually internalize this video and you actually listen to what I'm going to tell you, you're going to be able to have stable, happy, healthy relationships with amazing quality feminine women that 99% of guys will never be able to attract. And I don't care what happens in the modern world. I don't care what happens in media. I don't care what happens in pop culture that makes people think that, oh, as the times change, the dating life is going to get different for men and women. Absolutely not. If you listen to these 6 principles and you understand these truths, you are going to be able to attract women far easier than any other man because you actually understand what they are going to have a strong gravitational pull towards. And if you can demonstrate those exact masculinity triggers that will make her attracted, she's going to want to stick by your side 100% of the time. I wholeheartedly believe that this is going to be some of my best work when I show you what I have on the whiteboard for you. However, before we dive in, I'm going to show you today's MBT celeb spotlight, and he goes hashtag first date win, and you can see the text message thread between him and the woman setting up a date. And I show you this because men, young and old, okay, are having success with MBT, masculine behavioral techniques. And what I did for you, so that way you can have these exact principles that all of my students are using, is you can go down below after this video and you can watch the full length end-to-end 2-hour behind the scenes presentation that I put together for you. Masculine behavioral techniques work on a fundamental level to attract women for life. So be sure to check that out after this video is done. All right, behind me on this whiteboard today is the 6 cold truths that every single man is going to have to learn and internalize. And sadly, I see men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70s never actually internalize this, and they will consistently blame the ways of the modern world and female nature for their lack thereof success when it comes to dating. And this could not be further from the truth. Okay, I emphasize this because the lies we sell ourselves as men, the false beliefs that we believe as to why we think the world is a certain way, is oftentimes not how it actually is. When you understand these 6 fundamental principles behind me, you are going to have a far better dating life than every single man out there. The very first cold truth that every man is going to have to internalize and understand when it comes to female nature is women are dying, and I emphasize the word dying, to be spiritually led. Read that one more time. Women are dying to be spiritually led by a masculine man. See, men today, they are so quick to point out the fact that women love things like astrology or affirmations or like quotes to put up on Pinterest, but they neglect the fact that it is a man's job to use his masculinity to not only lead her, but to spiritually lead her to a place where she is growing as an individual just like you are. That is your job as a man. Women are dying to be spiritually led. So if you ask yourself, why do women love astrology? What is the feelings that they get when they tell themselves that they align with certain like stars or certain horoscopes? What's the feeling that gives them? It gives them a feeling of belief. It gives them a feeling of, I am a certain way for a certain reason. Whether that's true or not is irrelevant. The fact is, this is what they believe. The same goes for, if you ask yourself, why do women love affirmations? What does it do? Is it affirms or it reaffirms a feeling that gives them hope, right? Or it gives them a feeling of belief. See, this used to be done through the stories and the narratives that a man would actually help do and provide when he would lead her and lead a family of leading a woman spiritually, but today that's been lost. If you ask yourself, why do women like quotes on Pinterest? Okay, this is for the exact same reason. The feeling that they get for what these words have, the impact that words have on a woman is drastic. This is why, if you're with a woman, your job is to fill her mind and her head, and yours too for that matter, with the right stories, the right words, and the right narratives that help both of you grow together. Okay? What I can tell you about all of these, astrology, affirmations, whatever, quotes on Pinterest, women today are filling the void from the absence of masculinity. Since they are filling the void from the absence of masculinity, because men today fundamentally are not leaders. They are not leaders physically. They are not leaders mentally. They are not leaders emotionally. Women are dying to be led spiritually. Therefore, men fail to recognize this. So women are filling that absence of masculinity that they hope and pray for, that they crave in a man. They literally can't get it. Do you understand how powerful this one key concept is? Do you recognize the advantage you now have over all of the other men simply by understanding this one point alone? Do you see what a drastic advantage you have in the world? This is so drastically important. You getting in touch with your God-given calling is only half the battle as a man. Now your job is to lead a woman in your life with you. This is so drastically important. What I have here is lead your woman okay, to being the best that she can be. And the reason why I have this point right here is going to stem into point number 3 when we talk about standards and expectations. So stick with me to the middle of the whiteboard because I'm going to draw on this point down here in a second. This is point number 1. Women are dying to be spiritually led. What is the second cold truth all men have to identify? I will tell you this right now. Wealthy men in all ways, shapes, and forms are always going to be attractive to women. Men with money and men with wealth or men with competence are 100% always going to be attractive. And I will tell you why. There has been so much modern propaganda that has been pushed against men, okay, or pushed towards men to get you to not level up, to get you to not take action in your own finances, to get you to stay a slave to your own vices, such as alcohol or such as smoking or such as watching dirty websites, to literally deplete your masculine ambition and your masculine drive so that way you don't kick ass in life. There's been things purposefully put in front of you to make you a weaker version of yourself. Do you recognize this now when you can see this in the world, okay? A woman is always going to want an attractive, wealthy man, and wealth in some degree makes you attractive. And guess what? She's not defective for thinking that. She is also not broken, and she is also not a gold digger. She is just a woman. Women can say that they like it in any way, shape, and form. They can say, I like a man with purpose. I like a man with vision. I like a man with ambition. I like a man with dedication. I like a man with drive. At the end of the day, what do all of those things equal? It equals cash. And the reason why this is so important is because wealth equals safety to a woman and wealth equals competence. And the reason why wealth equals competence is due to the fact that it takes skills in the marketplace to learn that and to acquire the resources necessary to potentially have security in life. This is attractive to a woman. I don't care if you want to call that alpha. I don't care if you want to call that beta. I don't care what you want to call the reason why that pretty girl is with that older guy. I don't care what narrative you want to sell yourself. The fact is she's with him and she ain't with you. And until you stop selling yourselves these stories of, oh, she's with him for the money, or, oh, it doesn't matter. She's with him because she wants him. Do you understand that? It doesn't matter what reason you think it is. There's a reason why she chose him over all of the other men who were probably in her inbox. This is a key component. Wealth equals safety. So I know that you might be wondering, you might be sitting here thinking, well, Casey, I'm going to tell you this. I've watched every single YouTube guru. This guy tells me real estate. This guy tells me crypto. This guy tells me courses. This guy tells me to go start a home building company. This guy tells me I should get into public speaking. This guy tells me I should go start some sort of automotive business. What should I do? Okay, I'm going to tell you this. You will not build wealth until you step into God's calling for you as a man. God has a calling for every single one of you. Your calling is not going to be my calling. My calling is not going to be your calling. I am walking within my calling every single day when I get up. I say, God, please help me put out the right content to keep in my calling. You have to do the same. That means your path is going to look different from mine. And the reason why there are so many people who try to learn the ways or replicate other people that they watch, whether that be online or in media, and fail is because you were fundamentally not designed to do that. Until you actually ask the internal voice inside of you to lead you through that intuition, to find and to step into your calling and your true purpose with the God-given skills that you were blessed with, not the skills that I was blessed with, only then are you going to be able to actually excel in this world. So, when you say things like, God, how can I step into the calling? God, how can I build wealth so one day I can provide for myself and a family? God, how can I step into the calling so that way I can actually have safety and security for myself and I can build a skill set so that way I can show the world what you gave me? Until you start asking these questions, it's going to be drastically impossible to build the type of wealth and the career that you're wanting to, due to the fact that you're constantly, that 8 to 12 hours a day that you're waking up and you're working, you're not going to feel like you're within the right vision. And that's so important. Like, that's something that most people aren't being told. So you have to learn this. You have to actually internalize that. Your walk of life is going to look different than every other man's out there. And your job is to find that for yourself. Only then do you want to find mentors to replicate and to emulate once you have found that calling. And it's so important. You need to start building these foundations as a man. That's number 2. Wealth is always attractive. What's the third cold truth that a man is going to have to internalize about women? Well, I'll tell you this right now. She'll never rise above the standards set by the man on her own. If she's with a man, read that one more time. She will never rise above the standards set by that man all on her own. This is why, if you remember point number 1, I said it is your job to lead your woman to being the best that she can be. The whole element of standards and the whole element of this is the way we are doing things and expectations is very masculine in and of itself, okay? Your job is to lead. Your job as a man is to set the expectation. She'll never in a million years treat you the way you want to be treated until you show it's required for your commitment. See, why do I have the words your commitment underlined right here? Think about that. Because so many men are so quick to commit to lock down a woman or to find a woman or to get a relationship when they never ask themselves, hey, what type of woman would I actually like to commit to in the first place? What type of woman do I feel would represent me as a man properly? What type of woman do I want by my side so that way I feel like I can depend on her and she can depend on me for certain things? This is important. She will never treat you the way you want to be treated until you show that it is required for your commitment. This is why standards, okay, whether that be expectations in a relationship, standards in a relationship, moral standards in a relationship, it is your job fundamentally as a man to lay that out and make sure that they are properly followed, or else your commitment is not going to be something that she'll receive. See, this is how you have good unity, is it starts with you being a good leader. Men set the standard. For some of you who you think this is going to piss women off or this is going to scare them away, it's not. They're dying to be led spiritually. They are dying to be led by a man who's actually able to vocalize these things. They're dying to be led by a man who's strong. Please understand this. This is why I saved this for point number 3. What is point number 4? Point number 4 is one that I had to learn the hard way. Okay, over years and years of dating numerous women until I finally figured out one attraction trigger that it works every single time. She'll never tell you she wants to watch you become powerful. She just hopes that you know and you understand it. Say that with me one more time. She'll never tell you, okay, she will never tell you that she wants you to become powerful. She just wants to watch you do that. She wants to watch you do that and know that on your own. Now, power, here's the thing. Power is not hammer and fist screaming like a toddler. Power comes from within. Okay, this means you are stoic under pressure. You are composed. You don't get angry very easy. You don't get sad very easy. You're a person who's joyful to be around because you have your own internal peace and your own internal composure. Okay, this stems from emotional control. And when you have emotional control and you're stoic under pressure, I'm going to tell you this right now. What you don't say, okay, say this with me. What you don't say becomes far more important than what you do say. Okay, just you being there in the physical presence of who you are becomes important. And all of a sudden, what you don't say becomes more important or equally as important as what you do say. This is what true power is. True power comes from within. So, what you have to ask yourself every single day is, how can I show strength over stagnation? When you say to yourself, how can I show strength over stagnation, you start to understand the 5th point about women that is a cold truth that most men never actually come to realize. And the 5th point is that stagnation kills all desire. I don't care if this is stagnation in your job, every single day of you doing the same exact thing. I don't care if this is stagnation with your vision of how you want your career to excel in life. I don't care if this is stagnation in your bench press. I don't care. I literally don't care what it is. Stagnation kills all desire. When she watches you day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, be in the exact same spot that you were last month, last year, there's no growth, there's no added success, you are literally the same. That kills all desire. That right there is how men get dumped. That right there is how men get heartbroken. And fellas, that right there is how men get cheated on. You need to always be pressing. See, when you're always pressing, what this does is it shows that you have masculine dedication, masculine ambition, and masculine drive. So if you make $1 million per year, that's great, okay? And there's going to be fruits of your labor that come from that. But I'm going to tell you this. If you're able to do this on autopilot and you don't have a bigger vision or a bigger future, it's going to start to, you see, it's not the money strictly that is the attractive thing about the man. It's the man behind the money. It's the man who's driven. Maybe money is your motivating factor. Maybe it's not. This is one example of stagnation. But what I'm trying to show you is if you make $50K a year, okay, press to making 100. If you make 100K, you're pressed to making 250. If you make 250, press to make 1 million. If you make 1 million, press to scale your business to 5 million. If you make 5 million, press to scale your business to 10 million. The number is irrelevant. The fact is she wants to see that you're going somewhere. See, that's the important thing. And I don't care if it's your bench press. I don't care if it's your 400 meter dash PR, right? I don't care if it's the 5K road race that you do every 4th of July. Show that you're actually going somewhere and building something. If you're stagnant in who you are, this will crush desire. And the sixth and final, this is going to be the coldest, hardest truth that all men are going to have to realize and internalize, okay? Withdrawing sexually only comes from your weakness. When a woman withdraws from you sexually, it is because she has fundamentally looked at you as a weak individual, and I'm going to explain why. Men fail, like when men actually think of sex, men will a lot of times think of it as like some like cookie cutter thing that like they can learn in a textbook or like watching a pickup artist. Like, oh, if I say these right things and if I do these things around a girl, we'll just naturally like have an intimate experience. That is not true. It goes way deeper than that, whether you realize it or not. If you ask yourself, what is procreation? Okay, procreation is new life. That means new life. Like she's saying yes to your biology. That's what sex is. If she looks at you and she says yes or no. Yes to your biology or no to your biology. When there's a withdrawal of sex, what that equals is, hey, you are no longer worth it to reproduce with. You're no longer acting like a man. You no longer turn me on. Okay? These are all the things. Like what she's saying is she is literally rejecting and saying no to who you are and no to your biology. When a woman withdraws sex in a relationship, it only stems from weakness. Not the classic BS men fill themselves with like, oh, she just can't communicate. Can you believe she did it this way? Can you believe she stopped talking to me? Can you believe she doesn't know how to talk and how to communicate through our love languages? Women don't care about this crap. You either act and you perform the way a man does or you don't. And if you don't, you're going to get hit with all the negative repercussions in life. If you like this video, the only thing I want you to do is go down below and check out that webinar because I put down a free 2-hour end-to-end presentation for you. You're going to be seeing behind the scenes masculinity concepts that I don't show on this channel simply just by registering for that. It's some of my best work. Be sure to check that out below. If you like this video, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.